مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان. هل هلالك يا رمضان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان.
Oh my! MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah. Oh, Assalamu alaikum and welcome my explorer friends. I'm Ibn Haytham and this is my marvelous telescope. It's special because it goes back in time and can visit any place you can think of. I sit here night after night, admiring Allah's wonderful creation. Oh, I can hear some bells. Come, let's take a look and see. Subhanallah! It's the amazing cows going for their evening milking. I don't know about you, but I certainly love milk. I have a glass of milk with my breakfast every morning. And what's more, it's very good for you too. Look at these cows. Aren't they huge? But how do we get the milk from the cow's tummy into our bellies? Cows have a very special tummy. Milk cows have a very large stomach with 4 separate spaces. That's why cows are great at making milk. Grass and hay can be eaten by the dairy cow to make 2 highly nutritious products, milk and meat. It only takes a cow about 2 days to turn her food into milk, you see. This family of dairy cows eat from the tasty grass. After chewing cud or yummy grass, a cow will swallow again and the cud goes into the 3rd and 4th stomach area. Here the food goes around and around in their tummies and the good parts of the food goes into their blood, which will then help to make the milk. Oh look, here is a man milking a cow with his hands. I bet it took a long time to make the milk come out. But nowadays, they have a much faster way to milk cows, and it involves using a machine. Look at these cows. They have their big bottoms facing the dairy farmer who's going to put a special machine on their udders. The udders look like sausages, and that's where all the milk comes out from. These special machines pump the udders just like a hand would do, but they make the job faster, much faster. Farmers milk their cows twice a day by machine. Oftentimes, the farmer rises early in the morning to do the first milking. The cow's udders look like sausages, don't they? Dairy farmers feed and care for their cows. It is important to keep the cows healthy and happy so they may live long and productive lives. Wow, look at this huge truck. You know how the fridge in your home keeps all your food nice and cold? Well, this truck does the same with the milk. They're on their way to the processing plant. That's where they test the milk to make sure it's healthy for people to drink. From the milk processing plant, milk and other dairy products are moved to grocery stores where you can then buy them. These dairy products look tasty. I love cheese and yogurts. I like the way they package the milk. It looks so neat and tidy. But remember, keep your dairy foods cold in your refrigerator at home. Now that you know where dairy products come from, you can enjoy them even more. Remember to eat at least 3 servings of dairy foods every day. Hey, what's that mushy white stuff? It looks like fluffy candy floss. Oh, I see now. It's the stuff to make the cheese. I'd like to get my hands tucked into that soft white stuff. I bet it's nice to play with too. And then finally it becomes hard and round. And now it can be sold in the shops so that people like you and me can buy some. Do you like spreading cheese on your toast in the morning? I certainly do. And then I might put some jam on it too, make it taste even better. Subhanallah, cows are truly cool. And without them, we wouldn't have any milk because people can't make it. But thankfully, cows can. Allah created the gorgeous world and everything in it. It's been said that it's impossible to see the whole world in our lifetime, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try. I'm going to search for more and more of Allah's wonderful creations in this universe. So until next time, my explorer friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum dear children, and welcome to your fruit news, all about fantastic fruits from around the world. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a fruit that is well known for all its goodness, beautiful shape and colour. People have been eating this fruit for hundreds of years and it's called the plum. In today's fruit news, we'll take a look at where plums come from and why they're so good for us. Now that we know what's coming up in today's fruit news, we can meet our guest, the plum, and he will tell us a few things about himself. Assalamu alaikum, Peter Plum.
Walaikum assalam, Basim Banana.
Peter, we'd love to learn more about you. Please do tell us about yourself.
I would love to tell you more about myself.
First of all, where do you come from?
Well, plums were first grown in Egypt, but because my seeds have been planted all over the world, we can be found everywhere.
Ah, Egypt. What a magical land. This is very interesting. But we would love to know more about why you're so good for us.
There are many reasons why plums are good for you. I am full of vitamins A, B and C, proteins, fibers and carbohydrates.
That is great to know.
Which gives you the energy you need to run around and have lots of fun.
But what other health benefits do you have?
Well, because I am full of fiber, I can help you digest your food.
Peter, you're truly an amazing fruit. Thank you for sharing all this valuable information with us.
Aw, that's okay. It was great to be here. And thank you to all the lovely children watching at home.
Well, that's about it for today. Thank you for joining us. See you next time, inshallah. Ma salama.
In 8th century Baghdad, there once lived a pious and exceptionally intelligent man named Wahab ibn Amr. He was a close relative of the Caliph and held a prestigious position at the royal court. However, times were bad for upright people. The ruling class was corrupt, and those who spoke against their cries were executed. Wahab knew his life was at risk. So, one night, he goes to his spiritual master, Imam Qadim alayhi salam, to seek guidance. The Imam only responds with the Arabic letter Jim. Wahab understands this as Janoon, the Arabic word for madness. So, he leaves his home, his family, his prestigious position, and begins a life pretending to be mad. His insanity earns him public sympathy, thereby protecting him from the cruelty of the ruling class. Through his guise of a fool, he solves various problems of the common man while teaching them spiritual and moral lessons of life, thus earning him the name Bahlul Dana, the wise fool. Wahab would play with the children as though he was one amongst them. One day he got on his stick and acted as if he was on a horse. But then he got tired.
Phew, looks like my horse is tired and would like to rest.
So he dismounted his horse and put it on one side.
Uncle Wahab, does your horse eat grass? Does he drink water?
Oh yes, he does eat and drink, but only from the Caliph's garden and bulls.
Uncle Wahab, please let us ride your horse.
No one should dare come near my horse, because he is wild. And no one should blame me if he kicks you.
Wahab sat against the wall and sighed.
Okay, children. All of you go home and let me rest.
One by one they all left. Wahab made a tent into his home. His family worried about him and started looking for him. They found him in his tent, sleeping using his hands as a pillow.
Wahab, wake up from this foolishness. Let's go home. Home? This is my home. What shortcoming do you see in this tent? No fear of landlord, no fighting with neighbors, no fear of thieves. You're ill. Oh Wahab, you need treatment. Everyone is sick. And who doesn't need treatment? Tell me, from the Khalif to the gatekeeper to the Wazir, who does not need treatment? Listen to us. Oh Wahab, this place is not suitable for you. Why is this place not suitable? Verily, this place is much better than the court. On the day of judgment, I don't have to give account for living in this place compared to life at the court. Now, begone, my friends, for the Wahab you have previously known no longer exists.
And they left the tent calling him Bahlul Dana, or the wise fool.
Hello my friends and welcome to my science show. My name is Professor Proton. I come from the University of Safeeries and today I will show you science experiment. Yes, actually we will be studying water. So we have water in the beaker. Let me try it just to make sure this is water. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay. Yes, this is water for sure. It is just like water. Did you know though that water, if you look like very close, like zoom in, then you will find molecules like this one right here. This is called H2O. and we have one oxygen and two hydrogen, and they are bonding. Yes. So my friends, this is water, right? It's very important to drink water. Yes, it's very nice to drink water. What happens if I take away the hydrogen and another hydrogen? I am left with oxygen. And all the animals need oxygen to breathe. And also I and you need oxygen to breathe like this. Oxygen is good, yes. So my friends, now imagine this is like your soul. So you are created from the material and the immaterial. For example, the person, the professor that you see in front of you today, I am not like a person. Yes, you might be able to, shake my hand, say hello, wave hello to me. Yes, hello to you too. But really, when I die, I will go away and this will all become rotten and decomposed. Yes, but what will remain is my soul. Now let's imagine this is your soul. Yes, you understand? My friends, come closer. I want to tell you something. Yes, exactly. So in the Holy Quran, Allah tells us that, and I have breathed into him of my spirit. In Surah Al-Hijr, this means, for example, if this is your soul, then inside it is something very pure, very beautiful. Oh, so my friends, imagine when you're born like a little baby, your soul is so pure, like this round ball. Maybe this one got a little bit dirty, doesn't matter. But your soul is pure, huh? And then maybe when you commit a sin, oh no, it becomes stretched. For example, you do backbiting, oh no, backbiting, oh, or you maybe say bad words, or gets crushed, or you even hit somebody. Oh no, now it is not pure anymore. It is like a stretched and broken. So the challenge in our lives is to try to keep the same shape. This round ball, is neat, tidy, very pure, it's very beautiful, but it is difficult to keep it like this one. Yes. When we want to make it back into its original shape like a circle, it takes much muscle. And it's very difficult. Look, it doesn't look as nice as before the first time. It was much nicer. Now we try to remold, become better person. But it is very difficult. It doesn't go back to its original shape. Oh no, what do we do now? Yes. But no. In Islam it is not like this, because no matter how much you try to remold, it will not go back. But in Islam we have istighfar. Yes, you know what this is? This is returning to Allah. So you return from your state right now to your original state, like when you were a baby. You were very pure. But when you do istighfar, you can go back to being a baby. Yes, become very clean in your heart. Subhanallah. Even the Ahlul Bayt has taught us many du'as on istighfar. Yes. And we are told to say, Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Yes, this is very beneficial for our soul, and it will make it more beautiful. Yes. And don't forget, when you do your daily prayers, you can raise your hands and ask Allah for forgiveness.
Assalamu alaikum, dear children, and welcome to Super Sheikhs. I'm Big Sheikh Hassan.
And I'm Little Sheikh Hussein.
Right, so thank you very much for sending in this brilliant question.
Dear Super Chef, do all people have angels to protect them?
Adults, they have 2 guardian angels, and children have 12 all around them
A lot of
to
angels.
protect them.
To protect them from bad things, right?
Yep.
So you children are protected more than adults. You have 12 angels all around you, whereas we have only 2. And those 2 write everything. One writes all the good things that we do, and one writes all the bad things we do. So we have to be careful. You children are not judged upon. You will only be judged on what you do of good and bad when you reach a certain age. For girls is 9 years old, and for boys is
13, 14,
13,
15.
14, 15 years old. Right?
Yep.
In order for you children to be protected, first of all, you have to try to not hurt yourself. Of course. But angels are there to help you. Do you know what to do for angels to come, more angels to come to the room?
To be good.
Be good, of course. And also, whenever you have a sip of water, or whatever you drink, you say,
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
before you drink and after you drink,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and Salamullah ala al-Husayn. Or Assalamu alayka ya Husayn. Because Imam Hussein, when he died, he was thirsty. His whole camp, family, friends, they were all thirsty. So angels, if they hear someone saying Assalamu alayka ya Hussein, or ya Aba Abdullah al-Husayn, while drinking water or after we drink water, a lot of angels want to have part of that water because it's blessed by what we said. Right? Yeah?
Yeah.
So more and more angels will come. And do you know, if you want more angels to write down your good things and bad things, do you know what to do?
A lot of good acts.
A lot of good acts, but also when it's prayer time, most of the angels change. As in, it's like shifts. In work, you have a shift, and then someone else comes and takes your shift, right? Takes over your part, right? In the same way, in the morning, if they see you sleeping, they will write down Hussein was sleeping during prayer time, or Hassan was sleeping during prayer time. But if you are praying, a lot of them will write, no, Hussein was praying during prayer time in Fajr, for example, in the morning. Because the nighttime angels go back home, for example, and the daytime start coming. So during that time, you have a lot of changing of angels. So a lot of angels will see what you're doing. If you're doing something bad, a lot of them will write you are doing something bad, right? Also, be sure that we do everything good all the time, because we always have angels around us. You have 12, we have 2. Your 12 are protecting you. Our 12 are writing down everything. We are monitored. It's like cameras on us the whole time. Right? Okay?
Yeah.
So what did we talk about so far?
We talked about you have 2 angels that are like cameras around you looking at you.
Exactly. So I'm monitored the whole time. I'm looked at the whole time. I'm written at the whole time. Right? And you have?
12.
A
Which
lot
are
more.
protecting me.
They're protecting you from getting hurt. But you have to try to be safe as well, of course.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for sending this question. If you have any other questions, do send them in. Thank you for watching, and مع السلامة.
Assalamu alaikum, Pip.
Assalamu alaikum, children.
How are you doing today?
Are you doing amazing? Are you doing fabulous?
They look like they are.
Oh, you know what? Are you getting hungry at home? You are?
still sunny outside.
Oh. You know what, Mr. Raza?
Yes, Mr. Pip?
Today,
Right.
my mum said, Pip,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you go to the homeless shelter, you know, like the soup kitchen, with the rest of the madrasa children and prepare sandwiches and give it to them? And I said, Mum, I'm going to be hungry. And then you want me to go prepare sandwiches for the hungry and give it to them when they're not fasting.
But Pip, they don't... You're fasting right now, aren't you?
I am.
But you ate in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're going to eat in the evening.
Yeah.
The homeless, they don't eat at all.
Really?
Yeah. Whatever they find on the streets, whatever they can get their hands on, that's what they eat.
That's all they eat.
That's all they eat. I think that's why your mum wanted you to go, to make lovely... I've tasted your sandwiches. I know how delicious they are.
Oh, the monster jelly with peanut butter.
Exactly.
Yeah, my peanut butter and monster jelly sandwiches are famous.
They're famous all around the world.
I'm thinking of making my own company called the Pip Monster Jelly Peanut Butter Sandwich Company.
Why don't you?
Why don't I?
Do it.
Just
do it.
Just me.
Just you.
Just, yes.
So I can't help.
No, you can help.
But imagine, right? If you make such a company, you could give out free food to the homeless.
What? Who would do that? That's so silly.
Pip, do you have a heart?
I have a big heart.
Then surely you must feel what these homeless people have to go through every single day.
Oh, let's just change the topic, Mr. Azza. You know what?
What?
I think I've done my homework today.
You think you have?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You know the task you set me?
What task did I set you?
The email you sent my mum.
Oh, I remember.
You sent my mummy and daddy that email saying, Pip,
Yeah,
you know Pip,
right.
he has to do some work.
Yes, you do.
And you know what?
What?
I've done it.
You've done it?
Yep.
Well, can you tell us?
Oh, you want me to tell you what I've done?
That's the whole point of doing homework.
Really?
Yeah.
Prove it.
Prove what?
That I've done it.
You prove it.
How shall I prove it?
By telling me and the children at home what I told you to do.
You just want to know, don't you?
I do want to know.
Why?
Because I'm...
I'm just trying to fool you.
Because I'm nosy.
Oh, you're not nosy.
You wouldn't know. You don't have a nose. What?
That is a figure of speech.
What? I'm just saying you don't have a nose.
I do have a nose.
Where is it?
It's hidden in my fur.
Is that right?
As in, wait, no, monsters.
Yeah.
We smell from our mouths.
Okay.
So we go...
That's a lie.
No, we taste from our mouth.
And you
we
smell.
smell from our mouth, which makes much more sense.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why we don't have teeth.
Oh. Oh, you don't have any teeth?
Yeah.
How do you bite an apple?
You don't. You just swallow it whole.
Oh, wow.
Like this.
But Pip, I see what you're trying to do.
Swallow an apple whole?
No, you're trying to move away from what I've asked you to do.
Well, I did. I'm joking, I've done the homework. But in order for me to tell you about my homework, we have to do a very special thing.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Are you ready at home?
They are.
Are you ready, Mr. Azza?
Are you ready, Mr. Pip?
I am Mr. Pip.
Well then, after 3, 2,
1,
Allah.
jumble.
No.
What?
We were going to do a salawat.
Oh.
Ready?
3,
2,
1.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
But we haven't really done our next bit. I can't start without doing it.
What's the next bit? Oh, I think I know.
The
Quran challenge. With Pip and friends.
Pip and Mr. Azza.
Oh, now I know what I told you to do for homework.
Yes,
I asked you to research a story or an ayah from the Quran and to tell the children at home what it's about.
Done both.
You've done both?
Yes.
Well, I am ready to hear.
Well,
Yeah?
my verse for today's story
Okay.
comes from a very special part of the Quran.
What part?
All of the Quran, children, is special.
Yeah.
But this is very, very special. Why?
Why?
They're asking why.
They are.
Well, you know the Quran is a special book, and the Prophet said, I'm leaving behind two things. This is a time in this Quranic verse where the Quran is talking, so a special book is talking about very special people.
So it's both of them coming together?
Yeah.
That must be a very special part of the Quran then.
Well, guess what, Mr. Raza?
Yes?
They were never apart. What's very special about this verse is because it's about something which the family of Bibi Fatima done.
Who's Bibi Fatima?
Bibi Fatima, do you not remember, Mr. Raza?
I don't think I can remember.
Oh, Mr. Raza, Bibi Fatima is the best of women in the whole world.
Oh, yeah.
She's the daughter of the Prophet.
Oh.
And the wife of Imam Ali and the mother of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein.
Now I remember.
And the Prophet would say, every time I see my daughter Fatima, I would remember heaven.
She was that special?
Yeah, he said, yeah. Layla told me that the Prophet said that Fatima is from him and he's from Fatima.
So they're like the same people too?
Peace and blessings be upon them both.
Salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Well, you're probably thinking, what's this got to do with the Quran?
I am.
Yeah, well, there's loads of verses about the Ahlul Bayt in the Quran. My mum said, Pip, you know what? The Quran is actually so many verses about the Ahlul Bayt that you don't even know sometimes.
So are you going to tell us one?
I will tell you a very, very special one.
Well, I'm listening.
Are you ready? You are?
They are.
Okay. So this one is basically about this magical story which is set again in the place which is very, very sacred.
Where's that?
A very special place. The house of Bibi Fatima.
Oh.
I really, really, really wish I got an invitation to go there.
Guess what, Pip?
What?
Make dua and one day you will.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
You know what then?
Go on.
So what happened is Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, and the children of Imam Ali and Bibi Fatima, they were once ill. So they said, they prayed to Allah, Ya Allah, please grant our children and make our children better. And
Right.
if you do, we will fast for you. Now this is what we call a nazar.
Okay.
Yeah, my mum does this sometimes. Once I was really, really ill,
Yeah.
and my mum said, if Pip gets better, she done a dua. And she said, I will feed other people.
So it's like a promise.
A promise with Allah. So, lo and behold, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein and the children became better.
Okay, so it worked.
Yeah, but then they had to keep some fast.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because they said we would fast if they get better.
Yeah.
So, the Ahlul Bayt, that's Imam Ali and Bibi Fatima
Yeah.
and their children, they all fasted.
Okay.
Yeah, so just imagine they fasted all day and they're getting prepared for iftar. Remember, you taught me about Imam Hassan's story that Imam Ali and the Ahlul Bayt would eat humble food, simplistic
yes.
food for themselves, but when other people came, they would give them as much as possible.
Well, I bet nobody came. I bet they ate all the food themselves.
Well, listen, Mr. Raza,
Okay.
this is what happened. They all sat down for iftar and they waited, and obviously they had prayed and then they had done their salah and they had thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all that they had. And then they sat down to eat. And then there was just as they were about to put the first morsel of food into their mouth, they heard tuck, tuck, tuck.
Was that the door?
Like this.
Oh, like a door knock.
Like a rat-a-tat-tat.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Can you do that? A rat-a-tat-tat. 1, 2, 3. Rat-a-tat-tat. So, Imam Ali and Bibi Fatima,
Yeah.
the people in the house, they went to see who it was.
Okay.
And on this day, a very poor man came to the door and he put out his hand and he said, I am very poor and I am very hungry and I need some food.
But the Ahlul Bayt, they had fasted all day.
Yeah, so you know what they done?
They kept all the food?
No.
No.
They picked up all the food and
Yeah.
they gave it to these people.
But
People who needed it.
what did they eat?
Oh, they were so amazing. They just gave away the food. But then they said they would fast the next day.
Okay.
So the next day came, and all throughout the day they were fasting like we're fasting today.
Yeah.
So then, do you know what happened?
I'm not sure.
Well, they got down and they obviously, it was time for Maghrib. So they prayed and then they thanked Allah and then they sat down to eat their simple food
And
again.
then they ate.
Well,
Well,
not really. As they were about to place that morsel of food into their mouth,
yeah.
all of a sudden
Another rat-a-tat-tat.
another rat-a-tat-tat.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Can you do that?
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Rat-a-tat-tat. We're very hungry. Can you feed us? And this time, they were really, really unaware who was at the door.
Who could it be?
Who could it be? So they went and opened the door,
Yeah.
and there they were,
Who are they?
orphans.
Oh my.
It's very sad, isn't it?
It is very sad.
They said, we have no mummy and daddy, and we have no food to eat today. So what did they do? What do you think the Ahlul Bayt done?
Let me guess. Did they give them all their food again?
They did. They gave all of their food.
But weren't they hungry
them.
at all?
Well, they gave that away because they knew that there were people more needy.
But they hadn't eaten for 2 days.
But they were the Ahlul Bayt, the best of creation.
Wow.
So, they hadn't had a proper meal for 2 days. You're right, Mr. Raza. So then the third day came and the third and final fast. And so what did they do?
They fasted again.
Yes, they fasted again. So then this time, all of the family gathered round at Maghrib time. They prayed, obviously. They had thanked Allah for their meal. And then they sat. And then, at the door,
Don't tell me another.
rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat. And this time, there was a prisoner.
A prisoner?
Like a prisoner, like a person who had, like he was called a captive.
Oh, so someone who's done something bad and been taken into jail.
Yeah, well, something like that. And he came to the door and he said, I am very, very hungry and no one has given me any food.
No, I'm sure that the Ahlul Bayt didn't give him food then.
Well, they did. They gave everything away to that one guy and those people. And you know what?
What?
They gave that all away, all of it.
So for they hadn't eaten for 3 whole days.
Yeah, they hadn't had a proper meal for 3 full days.
Wow.
And do you know what had happened?
What happened?
An ayah was revealed in the Holy Quran. It came down to the Prophet.
About them?
Yes.
And what did it say?
It was such a special verse.
Yeah.
It said that Allah said that you should feed those who are in need.
Yeah.
The ones that are hungry.
Yeah.
The ones that are like poor.
Yeah.
The orphan.
Yeah.
And the prisoner. Because those people that feed him love Allah. They do it for the love of Allah.
They do.
But you know the Quran?
Yeah.
It also told us what the Ahlul Bayt said to those people.
What
the
did the Quran
Quranic
say?
verse said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told everyone that the Ahlul Bayt said, we feed you for the sake of Allah only. We don't want no reward from you and we don't need no thanks.
So they didn't do it for themselves. They only did it for Allah.
Yeah, and they said, we're scared of that day when Allah will put us to judgment. So that's why we're only worried about Allah.
That's a fantastic story, Pip.
Yeah, but you know what?
Pip, does it remind you of something about yourself?
No.
I think it does.
What?
So in the same way that Ahlul Bayt, they gave away their own food to these people, How did you start this conversation, Pip? Weren't you saying something about going to the soup kitchens? Feeding the homeless?
Oh, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't go hungry at iftar, but I should really try and help those who I need.
And you have enough food to give it to the homeless and to have it yourself.
Yeah.
Bibi Fatima and her family, they didn't even have enough food for themselves.
If I am a follower of the Ahlul Bayt, then I should follow what they say.
And what are you going to take with you to the homeless?
I'm going to take some amazing, super fabulous peanut butter monster jelly sandwiches.
I'm sure they'll be pleased to see that.
Children, what are you going to do this Ramadan to help those who are needy and hungry? You are?
That's great.
Well, remember, Pip always says, don't be greedy, feed the needy.
I've never heard you say that,
Do you
Pip.
want to say it with me?
I want to.
Okay, ready? Don't
Feel
be
greedy, feed the needy.
One more time.
Don't be greedy, feed the needy.
Yeah!
That's great.
Well, that's all we have time for, children. Make sure that you join us again for more Quran challenges, and make sure that you tell us that how many Quran stories you've covered. And if you're reading all of the Quran this time, we want to know too.
We do.
So make sure you write to me at Pip and Friends. Isn't that right?
That's exactly right. And if you have any stories that you want us to talk about, any stories that we've missed,
or the old mummy and daddies really like telling you, we can try and learn them too.
Exactly.
Till next time, ma'as-salam.
It's too stripy. It's too red. It's too small. Oh, hello, and assalamu alaikum. Sometimes I get so bored of the clothes I'm wearing. I just want to look different so people say how nice I look, just like the chameleon in today's story. Look at Me is written by Rose Williamson. Cammy Chameleon lived in a tree and was very good at hiding. Cammy turned brown on a brown branch and green on a green leaf. It made it very easy to sneak up on yummy bugs. But Cammy didn't want to hide. She thought she was a very beautiful chameleon indeed, and she wanted all of the other animals to look at her. She called out to the tree frogs, "Look at me, look at me!" But the tree frogs could not see a green chameleon on a green leaf. She called out to the lemurs, "Look at me, look at me!" But the lemurs could not see a brown chameleon on a brown branch. Cammy was very upset that no one could see her. She began to wonder what it would be like if she didn't always blend in. Cammy climbed down from her tree and concentrated very, very hard and turned red. "Look at me, look at me," she called to the tree frogs. "What a beautiful chameleon," they said. Cammy practiced changing colour all day. She was pink on a grey stone, she was black on yellow sand, she was purple on an orange flower, and orange on a purple flower. "Look at me," she called to the lemurs. "What a beautiful chameleon," they said. Cammy thought she was the most beautiful chameleon in the whole world. Soon, she began to feel hungry and went home to her tree. Cammy climbed onto her brown branch and waited for a yummy bug. She waited and waited. She watched the other chameleons catching bugs on their sticky tongues, and her stomach grumbled. She was very hungry. Then, Cammy saw a group of bugs nearby. But before she could stick out her tongue, they saw her beautiful colours and flew away. "What a beautiful chameleon," the laughing bugs called to her. Suddenly, Cammy felt very silly. A colourful chameleon couldn't hide like a plain brown chameleon. Cammy knew that to catch bugs, she would need to blend in, so she concentrated very, very hard and changed colour so that she blended in with her surroundings. Cammy had learned that it is not always good to be vain and was happy being a regular chameleon again. But sometimes, just every once in a while, Cammy concentrates very, very hard. Cammy's right, you know. We should all be grateful for just the way we are. Do you know what? I love my clothes. And Duck does too. See you next time. Come on, Duck.
مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان. هل هلالك يا رمضان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان، مرحى يا شهر الإيمان.